I don't really have a word of a week still, but I appreciate you all for listening and having not mistaken me for Decozy anymore. It's quite refreshing to walk the streets and y'all know who the fuck I am. What's up, fam? It's your boy Demuir here, purveyor of all sounds underground. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel today, where I'll be discussing the topic of phasing, what it is and how I've dealt with it and why you should be aware of it. But before I jump into things, what I need from you is that SLC. Hit subscribe, like, comment, and more importantly, hit the notifications bell to stay in touch with the new videos that we have up and coming on a frequent basis. All right, so let's jump into this. I had just recently completed some touring. It's great to be back on the road, so shouts out to the peeps in LA and San Diego. I had such a great time with you, and you know, naturally you get into conversations about production with different people who are aspiring to do this thing full time, and I was also pleasantly surprised at the amount of people that are watching these videos. So thank you for that. And one of the conversations I had, the topic or issue of audio phasing came up. So let's jump into that piece, like to understand what it is. So point number one, what is phasing? In technical terms, phasing is described as the timing of a waveform's positive and negative values in relation to the amplitude of frequencies. So meaning that at any given point in time in the signal, and let's say in the example I'm going to show you, it's an open hat, it could actually sound like the frequency is being boosted or reduced. It's almost got like a seesaw or pumping effect, and I'm not going to try and beatbox it for you. I'm actually going to play an example for you. Another example is phase cancellation, and this happened to me early in my exploration of music production, where I was working with vocals, and because the vocals audio was out of phase, it was actually canceling each other out. So by the time I played it on an actual system, I was like, where's the vocals at, yo? Like, this is strange. And what was happening, unbeknownst to me, was phasing cancellation. So why don't I just give you an example here in terms of what's on my screen, and then I'm going to share with you some really quick and easy tips to deal with this. So let me give you a real example here. This is a track I made with Honey Dijon. It's never come out because her manager, her people didn't want it to come out. They had some issue with it. It's just fine. It's a great tool. She loves it. We've been playing it. It's cool. But let me play this example for you and focus on the open hat here. So when I hear that now, I can't believe I missed that because what had happened was I sent this pre-master off to my mastering engineer. He came back and said, you sure that's the effect you want? That phasing on that open hat? And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? So when I listened to it, I was like, geez, it's crazy. Like, it's genuinely there. And I realized it was coming from a beat break I sampled here. This is Trackspacer, and I'll get into why this makes sense, but I'm going to shut it off just so you can hear the same effect. And you'll notice it's gone there. So, and I'll explain why it's gone. But now I'm going to play you the corrected version, and I'm going to step you through how I got to that. So here's the corrected version. Pick another piece. So same part of the song sounds much cleaner. And the way I got to that after I realized the beat break sample I used actually already had phasing in it. So there's not much I can do about it. But, you know, the first and easiest thing I would do in terms of like let's talk about how I'd correct it. So point number 3, how do you deal with this stuff, is a lot of plugins in your DAW. So in this case, this is Logic's gain feature. It has what is called a phase inversion. So you click that button, and what it does, it reverses the effect of what's happening in the amplitude of those frequencies at different moments in time to get everything in a nice, flat, steady state. So it takes it out of phase as a result of inverting things. My Console 1 here by Softtube also has a phase inversion button actually on the hardware itself too, but I just pulled this up for demonstrative purposes, and I'll zoom in. Here is phase inversion. I can click that and you can see it's engaged. So I actually tried this when I first heard the problem, and then realized, geez, you know what, it's actually something I can't necessarily correct because it's right in the samples. So what I did is I simply said, you know what, I'm going to add an open hat, and I'm going to have that side chain the beat break because I love the groove of the beat break. So let's play it. Let's see where we are in the project here. Perfect. So here's the beat break soloed out. I'm gonna play everything. So this is with the open hat side chain. It's this instrument that's triggering it. Now I'm gonna shut it off so you can hear the difference. So you'll hear that phasing come back, which is just awful. So it sounds much better when I'm engaging a side chain on the open hat of that beat break. It just sounds much cleaner, and removing that phase just makes the mix sound much more professional. Phasing can absolutely make or break your mix if you don't address it. I think my mastering engineer said to me, if that was my track, I would not let that fly. And I was like, yo, I got it, bro. So that's generally a couple of good techniques in terms of how to deal with phasing. So you could take it out of phase by inverting the phase signal, and if that doesn't work, use a compressor, or in this case, track spacer, and have another instrument side chaining the original signal that's causing the issue from a sampling perspective. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on what phasing is and how to deal with it. Let me know your thoughts on this one. I usually join the conversation within 48 hours of posting these videos, so I'd love to hear what you got to say about this one, and even sharing your experiences will be helpful. And the conversation doesn't have to stop here. We have a growing Discord community of well over 300 plus members right now, all sharing production tips and DJing skills and tracks and releases that are coming from such a growing and admiring community. So check us out. It's absolutely free. The link is below in the description. Much love and respect to you. Peace.